Hi, awesome soul. Let's talk about transformation. So, I'm going to put this in the terms of organizing material things because that's really where I came to understand more about the process of transformation within my own self was when I was working with my professional organizing clients many years ago when that's what I did as part of my business. You know, what happens is the first part is everything's working. Great, fabulous. Until it's not. All of a sudden, it just gets to a point where something happens. There's a trigger that happens. You know, it's preventing people from doing what they needed to do in some way or another, or the energy gets stagnant, or there's a big life change, or something happens to trigger the response. This is where I usually got called in because people got really overwhelmed. Perhaps they started trying to organize it themselves and they just didn't know how, or there was just too many memories associated with it, or they weren't able to make decisions because they just had no idea what they were doing. So, you know, a lot of times they would try and go and buy more bins and things to put stuff in instead of really looking at what was aligned with their life. So this is the point where I got called in, and it got worse from there. And I told them that this is going to get worse because what comes after the point of trigger and overwhelm and frustration is the chaos. When you are taking everything apart and making decisions about how it's going to be for the future, that is a really, really challenging place to be. On the other side is what you get to put together and have going forward until it doesn't work anymore. But the thing that I want to talk about is, you know, at the point where you're triggered, the thing that a lot of organizers didn't do that I do, and I even saw this on TV the other day. A gal was an organizer and coming in, and you know she's talking people through stuff, but she didn't have them create a vision of what they want it to be in the future. I mean, maybe she's doing that in a process, but it wasn't shown on TV. And that's the one thing that I always did, is I always set my people down and had them go through a visioning process of what it would feel like and what it would be like and what they wanted it to look like. Because without that anchor on the other side, it's really hard to get through the chaos that happens in that middle time. So translating that into personal growth and development, right? I mean, and soul alignment. Things are working until they aren't. And there's a trigger happens, a place of healing that presents itself. And then what happens is all of the structures around you start to break down. There's someone in my life right now that's going through that. You know, she's losing some people that were dear to her, and the job that she was doing and things like that. So all of these structures start to break down in that process, and it feels like just so overwhelmed. This is the time that you really need to go within. You really need to see what's aligned with you and what isn't, and let the rest go. Like I used to say in organizing, the only things that get to stay in your life are those that work for you today and that you love. Not just that you like, but you love. You have to love things in you, in your environment and what's around you. So if that's people, if that's beliefs, if that's stuff, you have to purge and get down to what's aligned with you today. Not yesterday, not, oh, I might need it 2 years from now. What's aligned with you today? That's what gets to stay in your life. That's what's going to move you forward. So going within and really having a sense about what that looks like is the pace that you can really grow from. And then as you're purging and things are breaking down, you have an anchor for the other side. Call in assistance, call in a coach, call in your best friend. I don't care. Get some help to help you manage it through. I have a good friend that I've been talking with every week starting a year and a half ago to get us through the pandemic. We just talk on Sundays for a couple of hours and talk things through. It's been awesome. Because we've both had things that we're going through in all of the chaos. And now we have better clarity as we're coming out on the other side. And that's what you want. You want to get to that clarity. You want to get to that place of simplicity and freedom and alignment. Alignment with yourself, with your center, with your soul. So let me know if you need some help. You know where to go. Check my bio.